The OMSAS ABS, or autobiographical sketch, is the most sure way to stand out in your OMSAS application. Unlike medical schools in the US, medical schools in Canada do not require the submission of personal statements. While there are some medical schools in Ontario that ask for short essays, the OMSAS ABS is the ultimate component that demonstrates how and why you are the perfect candidate for your chosen Ontario medical schools. Hi, my name is Chris and I'm an admissions associate here at BeMo. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe on whatever social media channel you're watching this from now so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. If you would like us to help you with your medical school applications, visit BeMoMedApplication.com to schedule your free initial consultation. As a quick tip, check out the timestamps in the description of this video to navigate to specific sections of the video that you're interested in. Here's what we're going to cover. OMSAS ABS. Why is it important? OMSAS ABS tips, sample OMSAS ABS entries and analysis, AMCAS work and activities, most meaningful experiences examples, and your most important strategy to make your most meaningful entries stand out. By the way, we're giving away $50 Amazon gift cards every week to the best comments and questions, so comment below for a chance to win. We know the secret to writing a stellar medical school personal statement. I'll reveal it closer to the end of the video, so keep watching to find out. Now let's get started. Before diving into our tips, let's outline the basic structure and purpose of the OMSAS sketch and why it's important. To start, it's vital to understand the ultimate reason for the sketch. If you're familiar with the AMCAS system in the US, you're likely aware of both the personal statement and work and activity sections, which are the main autobiographical portions of the application. For medical schools in Ontario, both these sections are absent. The sketch provides a standardized outline of your academic and professional development since age 16. It's structured as a list of up to 32 items organized into 7 categories: employment, formal education, volunteer activities, extracurricular activities, awards and accomplishments, research, and other. Unless you're a non-traditional medical school applicant who's applying later in life, your experiences and activities for this section should, fortunately, still be fairly fresh in your mind. The Ontario University's Application Centre recommends initially approaching these categories and activities quite broadly. Their advice is simply to, quote, list all activities that will give the admissions committee's insight into who you are, end quote. These activities can be structured and non-structured, i.e. undertaken in a formal organization in a specific time frame, or informal and even self-directed. Structured activities might include things like volunteering for specific organizations or events, while non-structured activities might include things like hobbies or recreational activities. One of the paradoxical aspects of the OMSAS sketch is its open-endedness. It invites you to really dig into your experiences to find what's most meaningful, and for many students, this lack of strict direction can feel like a burden, especially during such a busy period as medical school application. It's a bit of a grind, but if you block off enough time and employ some strategies we outline next, it can be a downright rewarding experience. Now let's get to the tips that will ensure you prepare a stellar OMSAS ABS that will increase your chances of acceptance. Tip number 1, always choose quality over quantity. Just because you have 32 entries does not mean that you have to fill up all 32 entries. Remember, the point of the sketch is to demonstrate the essential qualities that medical schools value, not provide a comprehensive index of every waking moment of the last 5 to 7 years. However, when you start drafting your sketch, you should begin with quantity and slowly refine into quality. We always recommend creating a spreadsheet or other such highly organized document that you can populate with any and all activities you can think of having occurred since the age of 16. Be comprehensive. This is the foundation you'll use to build your final sketch. As you list these activities, organize them into their appropriate category using the list I provided earlier, and outline ample details about them to assess later when you begin editing your sketch entries. Once you have a list of at least 15 to 20 such entries, begin focusing on those activities that have been most impactful. For instance, you'll surely list your entire employment history, but if your first job at 16 was a paper route that only lasted a week, you may consider skipping this in favor of something more impactful and sizable in duration. You need to be able to provide some level of detail as to why an entry is meaningful, and things like a brief job you didn't get anything out of would be better left aside. Importantly, you must be clear and concise to demonstrate your excellent communication skills. The sketch section specifically requires you to limit each entry to 150 characters, which is not very much at all. Using an entry to describe your meditation practice or other hard-to-summarize activity within the limit may be challenging, but if you take your time and refine your entry, it can go a long way towards demonstrating your communication skills. Other non-structured activities such as traveling, cultural experiences, or having special licenses or certificates make similar demands on language, and so balancing your formal structured entries with more nuanced non-structured activities will help illustrate your ability to effectively and engagingly present who you are to admissions committees. Tip number 2, start early with verifiers. For any activity other than formal education and scholarships, you must provide a verifier. For structured activities, this can be a supervisor, a coach, etc. And for non-structured activities, these can be friends, family, neighbors, and even yourself. Since the range of verifiers is so vast, reach out to potential verifiers as you draft your initial unrefined entries to make sure these people are comfortable with you listing them for a specific activity or experience. As you begin deciding which entries to refine into your final sketch, be mindful not only of what a given verifier might say, but whether or not they can be relied upon to respond to a contact request from a medical school. If possible, select verifiers you know will provide additional detail on an entry as well. The temptation is to try to include high-ranking verifiers, and that might be strong, but what matters most is their reliability and ability to attest to your involvement in the activity. Hierarchy and status simply do not matter for verifiers. Tip number 3, be honest. Admissions committees in Ontario read so many sketches in a given application season that any whiff of insincerity or posturing will be detected as such. Part of our tip number 1 is being artful and accurate in your language, but another part of this is speaking truthfully and not embellishing a given entry. If a given volunteering experience was a trying or even a letdown, don't embellish it into some kind of life-altering transformation. Not only will your verifier likely not back that up, but the stink of dishonesty will come through to the people reading your sketch. One of the skills experienced admissions committee members develop is the ability to piece together an actual working picture of the student whose sketch they're reading. Entries that stick out from the tone and character of their surrounding entries will almost always read as ill-fitting or even hypocritical. A smart tactic when considering how to present the details of an experience is to assume a kind of omniscience in your eventual reader. Assume any atom of falsehood will be sensed and carefully refine your language to avoid embellishment. Similarly, don't exaggerate your hobbies or other entries that will rely on self-verification. You may be tempted to list a marathon or two if you enjoy running, but admissions committees don't care about your ultimate level of athleticism so much as the fact that you're a disciplined person who's mindful of their own health. In short, there's often no need to embellish, so don't bother attempting it. Sample OMSAS ABS entries and analysis. Let's take a look at some examples. First, let's check out a simple formal education entry. Pay attention to how the dates are entered and note also how the formal education is described quite clearly and concisely. Formal education entry from September 2000 to April 2005. Description: University of Toronto, BSc. Geographical location: Toronto, Ontario. Consistency of formatting and language is important throughout the sketch, so be mindful of how the entry should be structured. For example, the year, month, date format and using a / instead of a comma for the location. Make sure to maintain uniformity. Erratic punctuation may not automatically get your application chucked in the bin, but providing evidence that you have an eye for detail and organization will help you tremendously. In this next example, notice how, quote, full-time is separated from, quote, academic and summer term, end quote. Additionally, note how this candidate has effectively and creatively used their 150-character limit to provide a very clear and concise description of their role and responsibilities. It is acceptable to use shorthand and point form in your descriptions so long as they are clearly understood by others. The tilde, to symbolize approximately, is especially useful for employment and volunteering entries. Employment entry from May of 2000 to November 2000. Description: Ford Motors Inc., cars and tech support intern. Geographical location: San Francisco, USA. Verifiers: 13. Level of education: 4th year. B, English. Hours: around 800 hours. Full/part-time, summer or academic year. Full-time. Academic and summer terms: 6-month internship. Responsibilities: coordinated global media events by organizing test drives, scheduling car transport and maintenance, and creating inventory tracking processes. Again, the point is quality, not quantity, even within a given entry. More words don't necessarily help and, in fact, will often bog down an entry or description without affording enough space for additional detail. This also speaks to the need to give yourself time and refine and edit your entries as well. Avoid putting yourself in a position where you need to rush through your sketch so that you can really polish each phrase to be as economical and impactful as possible. If we haven't made it abundantly clear yet, the most important strategy for crafting stellar sketch entries is time. Start early, be comprehensive, and be creative too. You don't have to list 20 different esoteric activities to stand out, but you do want to be mindful of the things that make you unique and give their entries enough time and care to really sparkle. And lastly, try to enjoy the process of compiling and editing your sketch entries as an exercise in reflection. Take stock of what makes you who you are and feel confident that you're headed for a meaningful vocation. Check out our blog to read more OMSAS ABS. I have included a link in the description of this video so you can find the blog easily. If you would like us to help you with your medical school applications, visit BeMoMedApplication.com to schedule your free initial consultation. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. If you have any questions about OMSAS that I didn't cover in this video, let me know in the comments section and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And don't forget that we're giving away $50 Amazon gift cards every week to the best comments and questions. So comment below for a chance to win. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.